Hey everyone, welcome to D20 Woodworking, and today we are doing a review of Spider Penny Parker. Now, she's probably the most unique and interesting hero I think to come out for a little while. This cycle had a ton of unique heroes, but she definitely stands out on her own. So let's kind of dive right into her and talk a bit about her cards, and then we'll also just kind of talk about her her overall and how I liked her. All right, so Penny Parker is a 4 recovery, 4 hand size, 14 hit points, right? 4 hand size on the alter ego side. Her alter ego action is to exhaust her spider suit, draw 2 cards. Now, she's going to basically have 2 cards out there, right? And they're going to flip in tandem. So let's talk about the spider suit first, right? This is going to be the other card that's out there. It's an inactive tech. Basically, it's on this side, right? And the other side of Penny Parker is Spider. It's a 0 cost upgrade to interface, pilot card, right? So when you flip over Penny Parker, it's now on the Spider side interface. And then the other card flips over as well, which is Spider Suit. And that's your hero, essentially, right? So Spider is a 2/2/2, 3 hand size and 14 hit points. Now you can exhaust an interface upgrade you control to generate that upgrades resource. Now, right off the bat, you have Spider upgrade, which is interface, right? So while you have a 3 hand size, you have 1 wild resource basically each round, assuming nothing exhausted for you. But that helps out, especially early on. So Venom is her signature ally. It's a 4 cost 1/1/3. Venom gets +1/+1 for each sim counter on her. How do you get a sim counter on her? You place 1 on her for each resource generated by Spider's suit sync ratio ability to pay for her. So you get 4 of them out there, and there's a possibility of 5, I think 5 resources you can generate. If you use 4 of them, we're now looking at a 5/5/3 hero or ally, which is insane, right? It's absolutely nuts. I never got Venom up this high. I rarely used Venom, if ever. Now part of that's poor planning, right? I should have planned that better. But Venom's really kind of one of those allies that you get out like after you go through your deck once, usually, unless it's like the very last card. So that's kind of the only downside. But obviously, once you get Venom out, Venom's very strong. Host Spider is a 3 cost upgrade. Interface as well. You exhaust Host Spider to ready the Spider suit. You're going to be kind of doing this a lot, readying the Spider suit. A 2 cost upgrade of Psychic Link allows you to add +2 thwart when you do thwart for that one time. Speed Metal Allies, a 1 cost upgrade, gives you +2 defense. And also an interface card, right? So all of them can be exhausted for resources. And also a 2 cost upgrade with Web Fluid Compressor. Interface card, you get +2 attack. So you can see with all those cards, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are your 5 interface cards that you can use to exhaust when they're out there as resources. So definitely kind of the bread and butter of her build. Now her support persona is a 1 cost Aunt May and Uncle Ben. You exhausted, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. If you're an alter ego, it's your top 3. Each spider card discarded this way gets added to your hand. I like the idea, but every time I use this, I swear that I was discarding non-spider cards every single time. It felt like it just felt like I was thinning out my deck really, really fast. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It wasn't terrible or anything, but yeah, it didn't really seem to work out a lot in my favor. I found personally. All systems go is kind of the meat of this, right? 1 cost event, you can either ready each interface upgrade you control, right? So if you're doing 5 of them, this is huge, right? You can get 5 resources again. You can ready up Spider again. There's a lot of different things you can do with this, but not only that, but allows you to search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add to your hand. This helps you get them out there faster because that is the name of the game, right? Get your interface upgrades out there as soon as humanly possible. Rapid deployment. 2 cost event, remove 3 threat from a scheme if you use the sync ratio ability, which you should be for paying for this. Now you also by doing this, you also remove 3 threat from a scheme. And now it can be another scheme, it could be the same scheme, right? It could be a ton of different things with that, which is nice. Another 2 cost event, Web Trap. Deal 5 damage to an enemy if you pay for this card using a resource generated by Spider Suit's sync ratio ability. You also stun that enemy, right? So 2 cards, which is fantastic. Now, also, you should note that it says a resource generated, not entirely generated, right? So you could do 1 normal resource and 1 generated resource, the way I understand these cards, which kind of helps out too. And then Ejection Protocol is kind of your last-ditch effort support card. You discard this card and exhaust each interface upgrade you control. Set your hit point dial to 6, give your identity tough status, and flip to alter ego, right? This is your last ditch effort. You're about to like lose the game. You can do this, and it kind of helps you last a little bit longer. Now, the one other card she has is Spider Commands, a 1-cost support location. Hero actions exhaust Spider Command and an interface upgrade to draw a card, right? You need to get your cards faster? You can do that. The other one is to exhaust Spider Command and discard 1 card from your hand to ready an interface upgrade you control. Now, this can help you do more attacks, or it can let you ready up your ready card again, or it can get you another resource, right? There's a few things that this card can do. I really like this card, and I like how this card makes you... It gives you options, and they're both not super easy options, but they can be helpful, right? I really like this card, and to get it out there early. All right, so overall, Spider... I think at first for me was kind of a hard hero to wrap my head around, because I feel like this was the first hero in a long time, at least, that I really had to plan things out pretty well. Usually you just look at your hand, right, and you figure out how you're going to work your hand. If you want to draw cards first, you figure out how to get that out so you get more and more options. This I had to plan out, okay, what am I going to play from my hand? What am I not going to play from my hand? What am I going to use as resources from my hand? What am I going to use as resource generators on the table, right? And when I decide to exhaust one of those things, I can't use it for something else. So if I wanted to use, Psychic Link as +2 thwart, okay, am I thwarting now? Or am I going to use it as a resource now and then be able to ready that card later with, Spider Command or something, and then be able to use it as a thwart again? Or am I going to like ready up myself and I want to do 2 thwarts, a +2, so it's really 8 thwarting in total, right? It felt like there was more to Spider than most other heroes, especially in recent memory, which I really like. I really like that this hero truly feels really, really different. It feels really good. I was a little worried how tough it would be to get all of our upgrades out there. And it's not easy, right? It's definitely a slow build game. You need to kind of hold on in the beginning, but once you get all your upgrades out there, you kind of start rolling. And even if you lose one of your upgrades, you're not completely lost, right? You probably can get another upgrade out there. It's just, it takes time to get to that point. It takes time. But I gotta say, with the 3 hand size, the 4 hand size thing that they have going on, I think it's really cool. I think it's really interesting because you're probably not throwing away most of those cards to pay for cards later on, right? You're using almost every single card in your hand and paying for it with, your interface cards that are out there. So I really like this design. It's super unique. It's super interesting. I think it's a fitting way to finish this cycle. This cycle has been full of unique and interesting heroes for the most part, and I think Spider is a perfect example of it. I really like her. I think... Personally, while her cards are really good and really strong, because most of it's about resource generators, she works in a lot of aspects. Protection, aggression, leadership, all of it. I think she actually works pretty well in all of it. And that's what I kind of really like about her, and I think I'm going to like about her in the long run, is because it's not just about her cards. Her cards are very important, but it's also important of what cards that you're bringing in from your aspect, unlike when I talked about with Spider-Hand, where it's like, it doesn't really matter what aspect I am, right? I just want to play his cards and the great cards and then move on with my life. Yes, I want to play her cards, but I'm playing her cards to help her / resource generators to play even better cards in my protection deck or my aggression deck. So I think long term, Spider is going to be one of the better heroes from this cycle. And as much as I loved Spider-Ham, like I said, I think Spider-Ham I'm going to get tired of a lot quicker than say Spider. Spider I'm going to enjoy for a really long time. I think I think it's going to go really, really well with her over a long time, and I think there's a lot more options and things you can do, I guess is the best way to say it. So I love Spider. I think Spider has been great. I think Spider was better than I thought it was going to be. Like I said, my main concern was how hard is it going to be to get those upgrades out there. Is the early game going to be just like you kind of losing a lot, and then finally you got like a decent hand and then you can get rolling? There really wasn't that much of an issue. It's not easy to get rolling pretty fast, but it is doable. But it is a slower start, but I think it's a really good pace with her. And I think it's really interesting. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of this pack. I definitely recommend it to people. I definitely think it's one of the better heroes from this cycle for sure. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Scroll down a little bit. Let me know your thoughts about Spider. What did you think about her? What were your expectations of her? While you're down there, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so it really help out the channel. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video.